let's see. I know also, Mark, we wanted to get into some of the things we've talked about, and that is real estate and maybe inheriting a piece of real estate. So if someone has inherited a piece of real estate, what do they need to do? This is something we've talked about before, and we really should talk about it again.
Call us. No. Yes. And being.
And that's
being
Feel
kind
Good
of
Friday.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Well, hopefully you're super grateful to whoever that was that gave you part of their legacy, right? That's part of the estate planning we've talked about so much, that, somebody thought of you in a way that they wanted to help inject something for you, and they gave you a piece of property. So now you own a piece of property. Maybe you already own property, maybe you've never owned property. So, there's a lot of questions that go along with that. And I think the first person we always suggest people reach out to is their local real estate professional, right? Their real estate agent local to the area, to understand what they have, right? And in order to understand what they have, that quarterback, that real estate professional will typically engage someone like Stiles Law to run the title. Are there any mortgages on the property? Does it need to be probated, right? We've talked about the fact that our team runs parallel courses, real estate and estate planning. So this is another situation where it works really well to have both those hats at the same time, because knowing what needs to be done if there wasn't a proper estate plan, if it's gifted to somebody without a trust and you have to enter through the probate court, our team can help with that. But also running the title exam. Are there mortgages on the property? Because those still need to be paid, right? Reverse mortgage, our friend Dave Tortolot, the reverse specialist, best in the biz. Unbelievable financial tool for folks who are thinking to loosen up some capital. But what happens in a reverse, right? So they haven't been paying. What happens? You got to notify them and work with them, right? So they're not going to foreclose because somebody died, but you're working with them to either refinance their debt or sell the property and pay them off. And with that, you want to talk to a CPA too. This is all part of a team, a theme we've been talking about quite a bit on Feel Good Friday. You want to have that team. If you don't know those folks, find a starting point and let that quarterback bring the team in for you. And yes, pun intended with the football. But it is, you think of it like a quarterback. You huddle up and everybody has their roles. And CPA's role is very important because there could be capital gains taxes associated with it, estate taxes associated with it. And you don't want to make a tragic mistake there when the following April comes around and they said, hey, all that money you spent, well, you owe a bunch of it back. You want to be prepared, proactive, right? If you know there's going to be a capital gains tax, you want to set that money aside. But the beautiful thing is, when somebody dies, it gives it to you, the CPA will tell you there's what's called a step up in basis. And I don't want to go too far into the weeds, but it's really important to understand that the value of the date of death is the value of the property. So if your parents bought it in the 60s for $18,000 and now the value is $800,000, you would think, whoa, we're going to have a big tax bill there. But as your CPAs and your planners will tell you, there's right now, as the IRS code currently sits, there's a step up in basis where the value goes right up, so the capital gains could potentially be eliminated. And it's important to get with that team, right? And at that point, now you have more net worth, right? You have a bigger nest egg, and you want to be talking to a financial advisor, because we can't do it ourselves, right? This is not a do-it-yourself scenario. You have an influx of capital, which is either the asset of the real estate, the equity, which we talked about, which needs protecting, or you sell it and there's a big check. You don't want to put that in the checking account. I know interest rates are up, so you might get, a decent 1% on your savings account, but that's probably not the best move long term. So you want to talk to a financial advisor about what next steps would be. And that long pause means I think I answered the question.
Well, we certainly hope so. Of course, if you do want more information, get in touch with Mark Stiles and his great team over at Stiles Law on Route 139 in Marshfield. certainly when it comes to inheriting property, and that can be a lot of things there that you need to navigate, and you need to do that with a professional, and other matters as well. Mark and his team cover that. You can get more information as well by watching some of those great videos. If we got a lot of rain, maybe you might want to binge on some of those this weekend, right, Mark?
Highly encourage it. Very entertaining. Thomas at Studio B has done an amazing job making me look good, and he's got a lot of stock photos of other people, so you don't have to look at me the whole time. But, Rob, you make a really good point. Put it in your ears. Listen. Get that knowledge. If you're thinking about getting into real estate investing, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, get as much knowledge as you can, but make sure that you're working with the professionals, the best that you can be working with.
All right, Mark Stiles, Stiles Law. And people can get in touch with you, Mark, through the phone and online, right?
Yeah, if you call our office at 781-319-1900, our concierge will get you in touch with the proper people, but we're also on the interweb at stiles-law.com. We're on all the social platforms, so follow us. We're doing a lot of fun stuff there as well. And if you're a real estate professional, check out our real estate professional exclusive community on Facebook, the Real Estate School at 892.
Mark Stiles, Stiles Law, Route 139, Marshfield. This is Feel Good Friday. We do it every Friday morning at this time. Mark, have a great weekend.
You too, Rob. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.